Talking to Janis Joplin, Gloria Swanson, and Margot Kidder. What was that?
I said I learned a trick that the actresses did in the movies in the 20s and the 30s. I had to do a test in Hollywood, and I had to wear, you know those very slinky satin dresses that you wore no underwear under at all? I couldn't figure out why actresses in the old movies always had hard nipples, and it just looked so sexy. And I found out the director, I asked the director finally, and he told me it's because they always kept ice cubes in the dressing room. And isn't that wild? Isn't that incredible? That, it just blew up. I shouldn't have said that, right?
Well, I've got a story to tell you about a girdle.
It's all right. You can mention ice cubes on this show. Doesn't matter at all.
Do you know I invented the panty girdle?
You did?
Yes, because
well, you ought to get a medal.
Well, I want to tell you why. Because nobody knew this, but I was going to have a child in about 6 months. And I was wearing a white satin gown from Coco Chanel. And the girdles that we had in those days came up too high. Yeah. See, so I had a little lump there. Now, of course, I was weighing a lot more than I weigh now. Now I'm trying to gain weight. So I said to this corseteer, to this woman, look, I've got to do something about that bump there. Now do something about it. And she said, what? And I said, well, can't you make the elastic girdle come down to here? On that? Well, I'll tell you what happened. So why? And I took bloomers we wore in those days, bloomers. And they were made of they were made of silk. And someone in the audience will remember this. And I said, you see these, and I want you to go away, and I want you to make some in elasticized. In those days, they only seemed to pull one way. She said, oh, madame, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. How are you going to you-know-what? I said, never mind how I'm going to do you-know-what. And I said, go away and come back. Well, 10 days later,
10 days?
10 days later, my maid came in to me and said, I was in the dressing room, the bungalow, and said, somebody wants to see you in the sitting room. And I went in there, and standing by itself was this thing in the center of the room. Exactly, if you please, like one of those armor suits.
Sure.
And I looked at this, and because in those days, they had it like, it was like canvas. They don't have the soft. Now we have the chiffon stuff that looks like lace, and you can pull it.
Sure.
Here's this thing sitting there. Now the problem was, how am I going to get into it? So I said, come on, I'll get in, but now I have to have you pull on this side, you pull on this side, and somebody in the back. Now, as they pulled, 1, 2, 3, go, my head went down and my bottom went up. So we got so hysterical, all of us, we piled up on the floor. We were laughing so
I thought you were going to say they fired you into New Jersey or something.
The problem of getting into this thing. I didn't worry about how I was going to get out.
How did you, the thing about those clothes is that anything you wear underneath shows. I mean, I couldn't even wear...
No, but it didn't because I had it come up to here, you see. I didn't need anything from here up. And I got rid of that because it came down to there. And when my satin dress moved, it caught the thigh. And I don't happen to have a big thigh to begin with, so I was all right. It was just that lump there. Well, and the lump here it took care of, too. So anyway...
Well, as fascinating as this is, if you ladies want me to leave while you talk like this, I don't mind at all. Our local stations have a message, and then the...